Good morning, brothers and sisters, and happy Sunday. I hope you had a pleasant weekend. The theme we are going to develop this morning is entitled, Do we have peace of heart? Do we have peace of heart? Peace of heart here is tranquility, serenity of mind. It is the state of the soul which is not disturbed by any conflict. Peace of heart is manifested by a state of well-being and happiness. And to illustrate our theme for this Sunday, let us begin by reading Mark chapter 8 verse 36. The Bible says, "And what good is to a man to gain the whole world if he loses his soul?" Many of us make choices to marry, choices to travel, choices to build a career, choices to start a business, choices to find a job, etc. Except that there is an essential question that arises for us this morning. Do our choices depend exclusively on the Lord? Or do our choices depend on our flesh, our thoughts, our desires? Because many of us today breathe bitterness because of their different choices. Good numbers live in remorse. Good numbers live in despair. And this is due to the fact that we equate our life with our living conditions. Your life, my brother, your life, my sister, depends on the Lord. And it is a grace to have the breath of life renewed every morning. Because some, most of the time, do not receive this blessing. Instead of putting too much emphasis on our living conditions, which are the work of the past. Because in the past, certain situations have not gone as well as we thought, as we would have liked. We refuse to admit it. Hope keeps us alive, but it keeps our focus on the future of a better tomorrow, to the detriment of our life, which is the most precious thing for every child of God. Our living conditions are temporal and can change at any time. These are certainly problematic, but it is the condition of most brothers and sisters around the world. What you are going through today, my brother, what you are going through today, my sister, there is nothing new under the sun. Your living conditions are not unique to you. This is the daily life of many of us, because too often we focus our whole being on our condition of life. And that is what leads us to sin. It is what leads us to commit crimes. To change their living conditions, many are forced to sell their souls. Many are forced to take dark paths. And as soon as you start following such paths, you can no longer have peace of heart. All those who have peace of heart are those who have understood that they had to focus more on their lives, to the detriment of their living conditions. My brother, my sister, this morning, it is your life that is precious. And to change life, you need to change your mentality. You need to undergo meta journey. You need to undergo a transformation of your thoughts, of your actions. You need to be born again. Why? Because when you are born again, whether you are in misery or in opulence, it does not matter. He who is born again dreams no more. His life is coordinated by the Lord. It is the Lord who guides his steps. It is the will of God that emanates from his life. But all those who seek to improve themselves, to change their living conditions, life most of the time, they live most of the time in bitterness, in depression. It is for this reason that Lamentation 1 verse 20 states, "Lord, Behold my
Sa vie est
distress.
coordonnée par le Seigneur.
My
C'est le Seigneur qui
bowels
guide ses pas.
are boiling. My heart is
C'est la volonté
troubled
de Dieu
within me
qui émane de
because
sa vie.
I was rebellious. Outside this world has wreaked havoc
Mais tout cela
inside death.
qui
A
recherche
rebellious child is one who drives
à
himself,
améliorer ou bien à changer d'eux-mêmes leurs
wanting
conditions
to
de
change
vie,
his living conditions instead of
vivent
trying to
la
change his
plupart du
life.
temps dans l'amertume,
Besides, Jeremiah 10 verse 23
dans la
says,
dépression.
I know it, O Lord.
C'est
The
pour cette
voices
raison que
of man are not in his
Lamentation
power.
1, le verset 20 déclare,
It is
Éternel,
not
regarde ma détresse, mes entrailles
a man
bouillonnent,
when he walks
mon cœur
to
est
guide his
bouleversé au-dedans
steps.
de moi, car j'ai été rebelle.
No man can
Au dehors,
guide
l'épée a fait ses
himself.
ravages, au-dedans la
Instead of
mort. Un
always
enfant rebelle est celui
using,
qui se
I'm
conduit
going
pour
to
lui.
do this
En voulant
or that,
changer ses conditions
let
de
us
vie,
always say,
au lieu de chercher
God
à
willing,
changer sa vie.
God
D'ailleurs,
willing,
Jérémie 10, le
I will
verset
go
23
there.
déclare, je le sais, ô Éternel,
God
les
willing,
voies de l'homme
I
ne sont
will
pas
do
son
this.
voie. C'est pas l'homme
And let
lorsqu'il
us
marche à
be
guider
led
ses
by the
pas.
Lord.
Aucun homme ne
Let
peut se
us be
guider.
broken by the Lord.
Au lieu d'utiliser toujours
Some
le je
people
vais
have
faire
realized
ceci, ou
their
cela, disons
dreams
toujours,
for a
si
while,
Dieu le veut. Si Dieu
but
le
long
veut,
after
j'irai là-bas.
chronic
Si Dieu le
headaches
veut, je ferai ceci.
began
Et
physically.
laissons-nous conduire
The
par le
headaches
Seigneur.
have started.
Laissons-nous briser par le Seigneur.
Physically, they are fine, but inside they are disturbed.
Certains et certaines ont pendant
They
un
are
bon
sick.
moment réalisé leur rêve.
Sometimes
Mais bien après, les
we
maux de
have
tête
serious
chroniques ont commencé
remorse
physiquement.
about our choices.
Les maux de tête ont
Remorse here is a
commencé.
feeling of guilt
Physiquement,
that
ils sont
one
bien
feels
portants, mais
when one has
intérieurement,
committed a
ils sont
fault.
dérangés. Ils sont malades.
It is a violent reproach that one
Des fois, nous
receives
avons de sérieux
from
remords
one's own
vis-à-vis de nos
conscience.
choix. Le
Sometimes,
remords
in
ici, c'est
order
un
to change
sentiment
our
de
living
culpabilité que l'on
conditions,
éprouve
we have to step on others
quand
to
l'on a commis
succeed.
une faute.
Good
C'est
numbers
un reproche
to change
violent
their
que l'on
living
reçoit de sa
conditions
propre
are
conscience.
forced to destroy their life,
Des fois, pour
to
changer
destroy the
ces
lives
conditions de vie,
of
nous sommes
several
obligés
brothers and sisters,
de marcher sur
both
les autres pour
physically
réussir.
and
Bon
spiritually.
nombre, pour changer leurs conditions de vie, sont
Yes,
obligés de détruire la vie de
good
plusieurs
numbers to
frères et
change
de
their living
sœurs,
conditions. They
tant
are
sur le
forced
plan
to
physique
destroy
que
the
spirituel.
lives of several brothers and
De nos jours,
sisters,
pour être adulé,
both
pour être
physically
reconnu,
and
on
spiritually.
a besoin
Nowadays, to be adored, to be
de faire
recognized, we
beaucoup
need to do a lot of
de
complicated
choses
things.
compliquées.
We need to plan shenanigans
Nous
sometimes.
avons
And even though we
besoin de
have obtained
planifier,
what we
parfois
so
magouiller.
desired, peace of heart is not
Et
there.
quand bien même nous
Peace
avons
of
obtenu
heart
ce que nous
is
désirons
like
tant,
love.
la paix du cœur n'y est pas.
These are things
La
that
paix du
cannot
cœur,
be
c'est comme l'amour,
forced.
c'est des choses qu'on ne force
And
pas.
every child of God
Et
must
tout enfant
have
de Dieu
peace
doit
of
avoir la
heart.
paix du cœur.
Most of the time, we make very complicated
La plupart
choices.
du temps,
Choices that emanate from our desires,
nous faisons des choix
that emanate
très
from our
compliqués,
thoughts.
des choix qui
We
émanent
are
de nos
obsessed
désirs, qui
and
émanent
so obsessed
de
with
nos
our living
pensées.
conditions
Tellement nous sommes omnibulés par nos
that we
conditions de
lose
vie
our lives.
qu'on perd
To
notre
see, you can
vie.
see someone is in front of you, but it is
Tu
a
vois
road.
quelqu'un, il est devant toi, mais c'est une
It
carpette.
is someone who is there without being
C'est
there.
quelqu'un qui est
It
là
is a
sans
road.
être là.
Despite his
C'est
millions,
une carpette.
despite his luxury, he does not live,
Malgré ses millions,
but he is the one everyone
malgré son
admires,
luxe,
simply
il ne
because
vit pas.
people focus on
Mais c'est
things
lui qui
that
est
are
le
not
moins
real.
ami. Simplement parce
People
que
confuse
les gens
things.
confondent les choses.
Everyone focuses on the living
Tout le monde se
conditions
focalise sur les
of
conditions
men
de
to
vie des
justify
hommes
them,
pour les justifier
to
ou bien
elevate
pour
them.
les élever. Alors
Whereas
que
one
on
should
doit
rather look
plutôt
at
regarder
the
la
life of
vie
such a man. The
d'un tel
conditions
homme.
of life are what is external,
C'est la vie.
but your life is that which is the
Les
essence
conditions de vie,
of what you are.
c'est ce qui est
This is
extérieur.
why we must avoid comparing our life to
Mais
that of
ta vie,
others. Oh, such is married.
c'est
Oh,
ce qui est
so and so
l'essence de
bought
ce
a
que tu
new
es.
house. So and so bought a new car. Oh, he is my childhood friend.
Raison pour laquelle nous devons
Oh,
éviter
look
de
at
comparer
me.
notre vie à
Look
celle
at
des
my
autres.
life.
Oh, tel s'est
Nothing
marié.
positive
Oh, tel a acheté une
ever
nouvelle
happened
maison.
to me.
Oh, tel a acheté une
I
nouvelle
age in
voiture.
place.
Oh, c'est mon ami d'enfance. Oh, c'est
Others
une
even
amie
go
de ceci,
so
cela.
far
Regarde-moi,
as to
regarde
say
ma
that
vie. Rien
the
de
Lord
positif
is playing
n'arrive
tricks.
jamais à moi.
Since
Je
I
vieillis
pray
sur
and
place.
I fast there,
Le seul d'autres
this
vont même
or
jusqu'à
that,
dire que le Seigneur fait
without
des
questioning you,
combines. Depuis
why,
que je prie et
how
jeûne là,
did
sans
he do
toutefois
it?
te questionner,
How
comment
did she
a-t-il
do?
fait? Comment a-t-elle
For a
fait
lavish wedding, some are willing to give up
pour
their
un
soul.
mariage
To open a big
fastueux?
business,
Quelqu'un
someone
peut
can sell
brader
his
son
soul.
âme.
to be famous, to have ratings. You can
Pour
take
ouvrir
that
une grande
path.
entreprise,
We must
quelqu'un
never lose that
peut vendre
from
son
our
âme.
conscience.
Pour
There is
être
so much
célèbre,
probability,
pour être célèbre
but no one thinks
et
about
avoir de
it.
l'audimat,
How did my brother Saul
tu peux prendre des
overnight
chemins obscurs.
break through so quickly? Most of the time, the
Il ne faut jamais
factors
perdre
that
cela
propel such an
dans
ascent
notre conscience. Il y a tant de
have several
probabilités,
contours,
mais à l'instant, personne ne pense
and
à cela.
sometimes the
Comment
facts
un frère,
make your blood run cold.
comment mon frère
Reality
tel,
is often
du jour au
different from the
lendemain,
movies
a-t-il percé
that
aussi
the mind
rapidement?
constructs
La majeure
itself.
partie du temps, les facteurs qui propulsent une
Moreover,
telle
Matthew 4,
ascension
verse 8
ont
to 9
plusieurs
states,
contours.
the devil
Et parfois,
carried him
les
away
faits
from
glacent le sang. La réalité est
again
souvent
to a very
différente.
high mountain, showed him
Des
all the kingdoms
films
of the earth
que
and
le
their glory,
mental
and said
construit.
to him, I will give you all these things if you bow
D'ailleurs,
down
Matthieu
and worship
4,
me.
le verset 8
The
à
Lord
9
said
déclare,
to him, withdraw, Satan,
le diable le
for it is
transporta encore sur
written,
une montagne
you
très
shall
élevée, lui
worship the
montra tous
Lord
les
your
royaumes de la
God,
terre et leur gloire, et
and
lui
you
dit,
shall serve
je te
him
donnerai toutes ces
alone.
choses si tu te prosternes et
This is
m'adores.
the Lord
Le Seigneur
who
lui
is
dit,
tempted by the
retire-toi,
devil.
Satan, car il est
The
écrit,
Lord,
tu adoreras le
how
Seigneur
many
ton Dieu,
times
et tu le
a mere
serviras lui
human?
seul.
And the Lord was in
Ça,
a
c'est le
state of
Seigneur
purity
qui est
because
tenté par le
he
diable.
was
Le Seigneur,
fasting.
combien de fois un humain?
And that
Et
is
le
where
Seigneur
the
était dans
devil
un état de pureté parce qu'il
come.
avait fait,
The devil
il
fears
il
nothing.
était en
And
plein
when the
jeûne.
devil
C'est là où le
came,
diable est venu. Le diable n'a
what
peur
was
de
his
rien.
deadliest weapon?
Et
It is
lorsque le
glory.
diable est venu auprès de lui,
He said to
son
the
arme la
Lord,
plus fatale,
bow
c'est quoi?
yourself
C'est la
before me,
gloire.
and I will give
Il a
you the
dit
glory.
au Seigneur,
All this was
prosterne-toi
given
devant
to
moi.
me. All
Et
this has
je
been
te
given to
donnerai
me.
la
I give this
gloire.
glory to whoever
Tout
I
cela
want.
m'a été donné.
But deep down,
Tout cela m'a
the
été
devil
remis. Je donne cette gloire
came
à qui je veux.
what the devil wanted.
Mais au fond,
Deep down
le diable ne voulait
was
pas
the
que le
Lord
Seigneur se prosterne
to
devant
bow
lui.
down to
Ce
him.
qu'il voulait,
It was not
c'est
really
sa vie,
that.
c'est son âme. C'est pour
What
cette
he
raison
really
que
wanted
Marc
was the
8:36
life of the
déclare, à
Lord.
quoi ça sert à un homme de
It
gagner le
was
monde
his
entier s'il
soul.
perdait son âme?
It is for this reason that Mark 8, verse 36
Nous
states
passons le
that
temps à
it
longueur
is
de
the
journée
use. What is the use
à
of a
apprécier
man
la vie
gaining the whole
des
world
frères et des sœurs
if
sur
he
les réseaux
loses
sociaux.
his soul?
Ne perdons jamais à l'esprit que
What is the
tout ce qui
use
brille
of
n'est
a
pas
man
or. Et que
gaining the
certains,
whole
malgré
world
leur gloire et
if
leur
he loses
succès,
his soul? We pass the time all
il
day
y a,
long
pour la
enjoying
plupart
the
des
lives
cas,
of
des
ceiling
prix
on
élevés à
social
payer.
media.
Certains
But let us never
n'ont pas
lose
la paix du
in
cœur,
mind that
malgré les beaux
all that
châteaux qu'ils
glitters
bâtissent,
is not
malgré
God.
le nombre de
And
voyages
that
qu'ils
some,
effectuent jour et nuit,
despite their
malgré le nombre
fame
de
and
voitures de
success,
luxe et
they
leur
are
vie de
for
rêve
the
qu'ils
most
exposent à
part
tout vent.
high prices to pay.
Bon nombre
Some
vivent
do
sous
not have
condition.
peace of heart
Lorsque les
despite
lumières
the
s'éteignent,
beautiful castle
certains ont
they
des
build
larmes
for
aux yeux.
themselves,
Et
despite the
ceci dans
numbers
tous les
of
domaines
journeys
d'activité,
they make
dans
day
tous les domaines
night,
de la vie.
despite the
D'ailleurs, le
number
Seigneur
of
déclare
luxury
dans Jean
cars
15, le
and
verset
their
30,
dream life that they
je ne parlerai
expose
plus guère avec
to
vous,
everything
car le
win.
prince de ce monde vient et il
Many
n'a rien de
live
moi.
under conditions.
Frères et sœurs, ce monde
So,
est
when the lights
est
goes
sous
out,
l'influence des ténèbres.
some have
Il y a une
tears in
grande
their eyes.
différence entre
And
obscurité
this
et
is in
ténèbres.
all areas
Les
of
ténèbres sont le
activities,
paroxysme de
in
la
all areas of
noirceur.
life. Moreover, the
Soyons
Lord
vigilants.
declares in John 15, verse
Sachant
30,
aussi,
I will not speak much more with you because the
nous
prince of this world
apprécier
comes and
tels
he
que
has
nous
nothing
sommes.
of me.
Je reprends.
Brothers and sisters,
Soyons
this
vigilants
world is under the
et
influence of
et
darkness.
sachons aussi nous
This is a big
apprécier
difference between
tels que nous
obscurity and
sommes.
darkness.
Dans Matthieu
There is
27,
a
le
big
verset 3 à
difference
5,
between
la Bible
obscurity and
déclare,
darkness.
Judas qui
Darkness
l'avait
is the
livré, voyant
paroxysm.
qu'il était condamné,
Let
se
us be
repentit
vigilant
et
and also
restitua
know
les
how
30
to
pièces
appreciate
d'argent au grand
ourselves
prêtre
as we
et
are.
aux anciens. Il
Are
dit,
we
j'ai
young? Let
péché en
us be
livrant un sang
vigilant
innocent.
and also know how to appreciate ourselves
Ceux-ci répondirent,
as we are.
pourquoi venir
In Matthew
nous le dire?
27,
C'est à
verse
toi
3
de
to 5,
voir. Il
the
mit
Bible
les pièces
says,
d'argent dans le
Judah,
sanctuaire et se
who betrayed
retira.
him, seeing that he
Il
was
s'en alla
condemned,
se
repented
pendre. Voici
and
une
returned
histoire
the 30 pieces of silver to the high priest
incroyable
and
avec plusieurs
elders.
enseignements.
He said, I've
Imaginez-vous un
sinned
seul
by
instant si
shedding
Judas avait construit
innocent blood.
une belle
They
maison,
answered, why come and tell us?
une
It is
grande et
up to
belle
you.
maison avec l'argent qu'il avait obtenu.
He threw the
Chacun devait
silver
déclarer
coins
quelle belle
into the
maison. Oh là là,
sanctuary,
le Seigneur a vraiment béni cet
withdrew,
homme.
and
Ça,
went
c'est
to
un modèle
harm
de bénédiction.
himself. Here
Sauf
is
que
an
cette
incredible
œuvre
story
aurait été
with
le
several
prix de la vie
lessons.
d'un être humain.
Imagine for a
Faisons
moment
attention à ceux qui sont
if
nos
Judas
modèles. Car la
had built
réalité
a
est
big,
souvent cachée. Et ceux qui
nice
cachent,
house
la
with the
réalité
money
est
he got.
souvent cachée. La
Everyone
réalité est souvent
had to
masquée. Et
declare,
la plupart du temps,
what a beautiful house.
derrière
Oh la la.
les vitres,
The Lord has truly blessed this man.
derrière la vie
That's the pattern of blessing, except that this work would have been the price of the life of a human being. Let us pay attention to those who are our models, because the reality is often hidden, quite different. Reality is often masked. Most of the time, behind the life of those who expose their living conditions, there is darkness. Good numbers expose their living conditions, they show their houses, why they don't even sleep inside the villas they built. There are others sleeping on the floor. There are others who do not sleep on the same bed as their wives. There are others whose children experience terrible trauma, despite the billions from their parents. This is why you have to be careful. Let us be careful. I don't know, brother, maybe you would like to have a mega church. Perhaps you would like to receive presidents of republic. Perhaps you would like also that when you extend your hand to the right as to the left, that 10 people fall at the same time. No, my brother, no, my sister, that there will be prices to pay. There will be prices to pay. That's why the Bible says in Proverbs 15, verse 16, better a little with the fear of God than treasure with trouble. Better is a little with the fear of God than a treasure with trouble. Contentment is paramount for every child of God. Psalm 23, verse 1 says, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not lack. I shall lack nothing, since He is present in my life, and it is He who guides my steps. Since He is my shepherd, His grace is manifest in me day and night. I can't be worried because my Heavenly Father knows what I need. Even before I come to bow down before His face, true peace of heart is that which comes from the Lord. Moreover, Ephesians 4, verse 12 states, I know how to live in humiliation and in abundance. I have learned to be full and to be hungry. Paul is teaching us a great principle here. It is for this reason that I said that to have such abilities, one who have to have undergone meta-drowning, to be born again. Because when you undergo the meta-drowning, your living conditions cannot encroach your life. That is it. Good numbers these days are those who take their time solving their own problems. We would like to have this or that. All this has a price. My brother, my sister, when a situation arises, it needs to be resolved. And when you cannot afford to solve your problems, trust yourself to the Lord. Otherwise, you will experience depression. Happy Sunday. Good start to the week. Thanks.